All right, we're live. Hey, everyone.
Yeah,
Hey, Renee or Sato. I make. We are here to talk about this really interesting project called SatoBoat, having to do with bringing Bitcoin on a beautiful boat all around Europe, maybe the world. Who knows one day? Yeah, welcome. Good to have you here.
thank you very much for the invitation. All the pleasure is for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the introduction is it's already a project that's been scaling quite a lot in the French community, and
Yeah,
I think there's something there that is really interesting, and we see this over and over again of people that have passions, have skills in particular areas, whether it's football or art or music, kind of, and then becoming captured by Bitcoin and Bitcoin capturing their imagination, and then people bringing those two passions together. And I see now, you with your background in sailing, and then bringing that together with Bitcoin. So let's just start with you. Let's start from scratch. What brought you to Bitcoin in the first place? Maybe that's a good place to start.
oh, I discovered Bitcoin during the COVID because we had lots of time to think,
I think.
to scroll the internet. And hello,
Yeah, I
do
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, and so yeah, I discovered that like yeah, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and then I made a podcast with a friend, Emmanuel. It's Parlons Bitcoin, like speaking about Bitcoin,
Uh-huh.
because I was fed up to talk about Bitcoin with my friends who don't want to take time, you know. So we made this podcast, and after like 2 hours of discussing, decided to create a boat and to put in a full BTC node and navigate from port to port to meet Bitcoiners or no coiners was there. So
Fantastic. Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
hey,
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. I hear you well. Can you hear me?
eh, internet connection problems. That's from me or you? I don't know.
Um, Look, it may be me. Let me just double check here. Just give me a sec, yeah? Maybe let me try to fix it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So hopefully that
Right.
helps. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll see. Yeah, so yeah, we discussed like 2 hours about everything, Bitcoin, the fiat system, society, blah blah blah. And at the end, come on,
yeah, I hear you perfectly. So, Remy, I hear you perfectly.
come on.
All right, I hear you perfectly, Remy. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, it's just like there are disconnections, so
Okay. Not sure. It's fine. My internet's pretty good right now, so let me know if you have any issues. But let's.
yeah, maybe it's me. I checked to download another thing and it works, so I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I hear you around. decide to sail the world with a node in your boat and within Europe, especially.
Yeah, yeah. The idea was to combine these two passions, like sailing and Bitcoin, because they have in common the same idea of independency, autonomous. When you do sailing, you have to be. You can count by on yourself because you have to. You are alone in the sea, so you have to be responsible of yourself and the crew. So it's quite similar with Bitcoin for me. So
Yeah, it's almost a self-sovereign kind of lifestyle. We're having
you
some
heard what I said?
it's sort of coming and going now, but I'm happy to keep trying.
If you want, just for the all the people who
Yeah.
try
Do you
to
want to
listen to us.
should I can remove my image. Hopefully this maybe helps. And maybe
Maybe I can do
yeah,
the same.
yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah.
shame that
So
we'll yeah, go ahead.
yeah, like I said, there is things in common between sailing and Bitcoin. When you're alone on the sea, you have to be responsible of yourself, of the boat, the rest of the crew. And with Bitcoin, it's a little bit the same. You have to be responsible of yourself, your key. So I'm trying to make connection between these two worlds because, well, because I like these two passions a lot. It's really practical to be on a boat to sail and to discover the world, sharing knowledges about sailing or Bitcoin. So, and for me, it's like a super cool vector, to be on a boat. It's so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you can
I can
imagine everything. That's
right.
me.
Yeah, that's right here. And this is so exciting, man. So how's it been? How many has it been over a year now?
Yeah, I'm living from 1 year on the boat, yeah, all the time.
That's impressive. All the time. So
Yeah,
you sleep on the boat every day.
or every day.
That's incredible, man. So, what lessons have you learned so far? I have so many questions for you. I'll just start with this. But what lesson have you learned so far in this experiment?
Oh, so much
Yeah.
lessons about myself, living with other people. Because when you onboard people for a 1 week sailing trip, you live together in a very small place.
Uh huh.
So you have to meet others really really fast and really deep. I also met lots of Bitcoiners from Spain, Portugal, France, England. So funny to see like people sharing something, and it's
Yeah.
Bitcoin, and all the people are so different. So it's really, yeah, it's how to say that. It's feed you all the time, every day.
Right. 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 So, were you able to make the Bitcoin Miami conference?
Man, that's the problem because I heard that they changed the place. The
Oh
next
yeah,
one will be in Texas, Houston, or something like that.
yeah,
So, but
in Kansas City.
yeah, okay, Kansas City. It will okay. Look, so it will be too complicated for me because it's too
Oh,
far from the
you
sea.
weren't able to do the 2023, the Miami.
Yeah. Ah, oh no, it is a mistake. It's a
Ah,
mistake.
okay.
It was for the next year. Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
this cool video too.
Got it.
No, but the red line of this project is to share knowledge about Bitcoin and sailing.
Uh-huh.
For the rest, the route can change. So I didn't plan to go to Brazil before I heard. You heard?
Ooh, I think I've lost you, man. Sorry about that. I think I lost you. Hello, Remy, you there? Let's try to remove StreamYard. Remy, can you hear me? I'm still not. Yeah, I think we lost them. Hey.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
I move a little bit. I'm gonna stop the camera. So yeah, as I said, okay, it will be too complicated for me to go to Bitcoin Miami, but I heard another project of another community called it's Pra Bitcoin Beach.
Oh yeah, Praia Bitcoin Beach. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they sent me a message to see if it was possible for me to sail to meet them in Rakayokoya. I forget the name of the beach, the town. So whatever, it's not the destination, but the journey who is
Right.
important,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So are you considering, so let's talk a bit about what you've done so far, right? Let's talk a bit about this year, how it's been for you, what you've mentioned some of the things you've learned, but where have you been? What has been your trip so far? You have
yeah,
videos on I think on Twitter you have some videos, right, of where you travel to?
yeah. So I left Brussels like in July, and I sailed down till Biarritz for Surfing Bitcoin. Surfing Bitcoin is the
Yeah.
main the main French conference about Bitcoin, and then I continued to the south through Gibraltar till Ibiza, Valencia, in Spain. So and then I have to came back after that, and
Wow.
yeah, it was really funny. I met several really sympathetic Bitcoiners like Nicolas Burtney from Galoy, Knut Arnoldson from
Yeah, Knut, of course.
Infinite divided by 21. Also Didi Tatiaou, Dutch, who created the Bam Bam Beach Bar in Lagos. Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
the trip.
Is this the plan, the plan for what's next?
It's for the chapter 3. Yeah. The next one. Yeah, you can
That's
see it.
amazing.
I want to go to Madeira. Madeira is an
Yeah, of course.
amazing place, lovely, and also a land of Bitcoiners.
Yeah, of course.
So after that, continue to Canary Island, Cape Verde, and then crossing. I just have to change a little bit the route on the on the other side of the ocean, because
Right.
if there is no Bitcoin Miami, okay, I just have to find a place to make stopovers.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you'll find so many along the way. That's gonna be like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really interesting because you're almost connecting with Bitcoiners. You remind me a bit of Run with Bitcoin, right? The Paco de la India, who travels all around and meets Bitcoiners and does meetups. But the cool thing about your project is that you do it all, really in a self-sovereign way yourself, and you meet people on the coast, right? Which is where you are, where you're able to travel.
yeah.
And so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. How has this been? Have you been able to say kind of meet new Bitcoiners at meetups? Do you often go to meetups? How do you meet them? How do you find Bitcoiners where you go?
Thanks to Twitter. mainly
Yeah, yeah,
because I'm posting often this type of videos to show where am I and what could be the next stopovers. So and more I met people, more they give me like place to stop or people to meet, and you
yeah,
just have to. It's like a little bit. I'm
uh-huh.
waiting and just saying that the Satorbot will be in this area at that period,
Yeah,
and sometimes it's match. Yeah, because in Spain there is like uh, a Bitcoin group called ¿cómo se llama? 2140.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. So when I was in La Corona, a guy said me, "Hey, look at that telegram from the group, and you can contact them." And I was there just for a Bitcoin meetup, so it was perfect.
yeah.
So yeah,
That I can imagine, and you must be meeting all these Bitcoiners from many different places. And
yeah,
what are some of the things that you've noticed? Like, do you think there is such a thing as a Bitcoin community? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, there's no such thing as a Bitcoin community." But what do you think about that? Do you think a Bitcoin community is forming? Is Are there similarities between Bitcoiners that you meet from different countries?
yeah. But there are people who connect through Bitcoin.
Right,
That's
right,
that's what I saw.
right.
Uh, because what does it mean a community? For me, it's more maybe living together. So there are people sharing same ideas about what we can do with Bitcoin, but
Yeah,
they are all quite different.
yeah.
So yeah, you understand my point?
Yeah, totally, totally. I think community in the sense that they share this similar idea, they share this similar vision
Yeah,
of how Bitcoin can improve and change the world. Um, right. That's fascinating, man. Yeah,
yeah, and they love to stay a little bit together for like one time each month, or
yeah.
to go to drink some beers or whatever,
Right, right, right.
and talking about the society all the
Yeah,
time.
a lot of talking. By the way, do you think it's safe to try to show our faces again, or you think it's gonna break?
Oh, not sure. I'm gonna okay.
Let me try.
The Yeah, I'm just moving the laptop, but not the my mobile phone.
Okay, good idea. Okay, nice. So far, so good.
Up.
Awesome. So, yeah, man, that's so insane what you've done, and so fascinating. Do you mind if I ask, how have you been able to like sustain the journey? Because 1 year is a long time. I guess the cost of living in your own house and your own boat reduces the costs of living, but you still have to put bread under your boat, not your roof. So, how has that experience been?
Yeah. Um, I'm onboarding people each week for to teach them how to sail, and
Okay,
if they want, they can ask about Bitcoin. I can do the both. So that's how I'm living for the moment. But I'm
got
living simple. Okay, I need nothing. I need nothing. I have everything on the boat. So just to eat, drink sometimes with some friends, and that's it. And I'm trying to get some sponsor too. To it's more to pay some issues on the boat, like when we have an accident or whatever. It
yeah,
costs quite a lot.
yeah.
very fast. Like everything's expensive on a boat. So that's how I'm trying to compensate all these exceptional costs. And also with Geyser, that's what I want to do with Geyser. It's like I want to raise money, and I want to split in two parts, like 21% for educational books or whatever about Bitcoin that I can give everywhere in each port where I made a stopover, and the rest will be just for Sato, like for a new sale or whatever happen on the boat. That's my idea for the next chapter.
That's like the next chapter is gonna be the next year.
Yeah, no, good question. It's not defined by with a period. it's
Yeah,
just like it's just like crossing, and then discover this area of the world. So I don't know. It's like going away without a way back.
dude, that's just so fascinating. You're a true nomad, but also sailing is so beautiful. It's the I read a lot of Joseph Conrad's books, who talks a lot about sailing,
Okay.
um, and yeah, and then like just being on the life on the boat, and you and the sea. It can be quite daunting, right? It's quite solitary, and it's beautiful for that as well.
Yeah, when you do sailing, it's like it's often like meditation because you
Right.
have lot of time with maybe you can put some music, but there is no perturbation around you. It's
Yeah.
just the elements, and you are like captured by the moment all the time. Well, that's fun. I like it a lot.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Um, do you know any other person or group of people that are doing something similar, that are doing this and with Bitcoin, or are the two worlds usually quite separated?
No, no. I see nothing. The Satubot project on the internet or in real life. So I know I met a guy who did the same but with a van,
Yeah,
but on a sailboat, no.
that's incredible. It's quite unique. It's quite unique. And so, what
Yeah,
what are your plans going forward? You mentioned a bit. We looked at the map of you going through to Madeira, then going over to the Brazilian coast, right? I think I forget what it's called, that region there. It's I don't know if it's Pernambuco or some other one, and then you go through the Caribbeans all the way to maybe Miami or maybe somewhere there. And do you have any plans after that?
yeah. If I still have the wish, the energy, the money, I will continue. Maybe to go to Canada or coming back, crossing through the Panama Canal. El Salvador is not so far from the Panama, so
Yeah.
it will be so funny to touch this land. Then maybe sail to San Francisco. Could be so funny,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
sail under the huge bridge,
The Golden Gate
and
Bridge.
then continue to the Pacific. I don't
Wow.
know.
Are there limits to how much you can do? I mean, the Pacific is gigantic. So could your boat actually do the cross Pacific? No, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's possible to
wow.
see. Yeah,
Holy.
I will have to check maybe for the some issue with the no some problem with the water or things like that because I don't
Right.
have maybe enough storage for that.
Hmm.
I have to check, but I think it's possible. I heard other stories from other sailors who did the same um, with a little boat, much more little than mine. So
That's incredible. You could be the first Bitcoiner to circumnavigate the world.
ouais, could be so funny.
That would
For the
be
moment, I'm trying. I'm working on to have a satellite communication because I need that to download some weather forecast.
Yeah,
When you are on the middle of nowhere,
yeah,
and I wanna put my node on that connection because it will be the first sailing boat with a full node running in the middle of the ocean, and
that's
that could be
incredible.
so funny. So if people knows people with that kind of uh, device, contact me please, because it's not easy. It could be also to be expensive. All the sailors who sail around the world use like a satellite mobile running on Iridium Go. It's the satellite constellation, but yeah, it's quite expensive. So I'm trying to a cheaper.
Yeah, the Blockstream satellites could help in terms of downloading no data, but that one requires a stable location, and it's, if you're roaming around, it's not gonna work. But look, this is super exciting, man, super exciting. And you obviously use Twitter to keep your community up to date with what you're doing, which is awesome. Sometimes I see, oh wow, he's going there to the conference. It's so cool. Do you have any plans for other conferences apart from then are you, I assume you're going to the Surfing Bitcoin, right? To the next one.
Yeah, this July I'm gonna do the Rolex Fastnet race. So it's a huge event, but well known in the sailing world, not in Bitcoin. The idea is to the idea is to show a huge the Bitcoin logo in front of all the cameras. That because it's a huge event. The Rolex Fastnet there's like almost 500 boats on the start, so it's maybe the biggest race this year on the world. So
Wow.
let's
What's it
do.
called?
Yeah. Sorry.
What's it called again?
Wax Fastnet race.
Got it. Fastest race.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome, man. So one thing I would love to know more about that we didn't touch on is what led you to kind of jump. What led you? One thing is to have the idea about doing the Satobo project, and then the other thing is actually taking action and actually jumping in and doing it. So what led you to, what triggered you to actually jump into this idea and actually make it happen?
I realized that life is very short, and I had a good job, but I was a little bit fed up about it, and I was like, okay, I like sailing. Bitcoin fascinate me, so I was like, okay, I have to do and combine these two things, and I just decided that in like in 1 week.
That's crazy.
So yeah, sometimes you don't have to think too much. You have just to do things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, just do it in some way, right? Just go ahead and do it. Do you have any other recommendations to other creators or Bitcoiners that are unsure if they want to, do something or not? What were some of the, how do you overcome the initial steps, and how do you know your idea is a good idea?
Oh, you don't know at the beginning. You maybe you have the feeling because yeah, your idea or whatever you are. It's complicated to explain, but you feel something. But yeah, you just do it. Try it. If you don't try, you will never know if it's good or not good.
Yeah. There's
That's
no
it.
other way, right?
No, do it. Try it.
Are
Don't be
there
afraid.
Don't be
We
afraid.
are we are often afraid about, I don't know, like do mistakes or yeah. But that's how you learn. You have to do mistakes all the time, all the time.
What are some good mistakes that you've learned from in the Satoboat project?
A lot. Like, yeah, I touched a sandbank 1 year ago. I made some cracks in
Oh
the
shit.
hull. Yeah, so but after that, I had to work to fix everything. Yeah, and I did 2 or 3 times the work because I did mistakes. It was not perfect directly, so I have to restart from scratch. So yeah, you after that, I became more safety on the boat. Yeah, because you understand that the sea is uh, there is lots of energy in there, and you are very little. You know.
Yeah, yeah. The sea is very powerful, and you're very small.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. You're dealing with such so much potential energy, right? The sea is so malleable and volatile. Um, but that must also make it quite interesting and fascinating, right? Imagine there's a big storm and you have to be safe in the port, right?
Yeah, and you become more respectful about maybe everything, also with people, because your point of view is changing, so you are more like yeah, respectful, I think.
And maybe humble even, right? And there's a line with Bitcoin, right? Stay humble, stack sats, right? Stay humble. Nature is powerful. Um,
Exactly,
or small.
exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and any other learnings that you'd love to share with us, or mistakes you did that helped you grow? And
um Also, it's taking the time to do things,
hmm,
because I had a problem for the second chapter, and more I sailed, more I had to reduce the speed of the travel, because it was like it's not the destination that it's important. It's more the journey you are doing,
yeah,
and I think you can translate that in any project you do in your life, I think.
yeah,
Maybe it's the lesson of this year. Yeah, and like enjoying the moment, you know, because it's the now that is important, not the future or the past. It's like no, it's just now. Yeah, maybe that. It's complicated to be all the time in the now moment.
but
Yeah,
it's important because it's what you remember, and it's sort of what the only thing there is, right? Is really the now. Even though we like to plan and we like to also think back, but we have.
of yeah, of course, and we have to do that to build things.
Mm, yeah.
But but voilà.
No, but it's true, right? You're planning to go to Brazil and El Salvador, and all this we have to imagine what is it going to be like to be in the now in Brazil and in El Salvador, and we can't really do that, but we can plan ahead and build these plans, build these experiences for the future. But then we actually have to be there once we're there, right? And because otherwise we're always just passengers, we're not main actors of our lives. But
Yeah,
yeah, man. Look, man, it's been fascinating. How's your battery doing? We were saying that your battery may be suffering.
it's like 20%.
3%.
No, 20.
Oh, 2020. Okay, okay.
No, it's okay.
So we're good. So yeah,
It
man,
will
it's
be
been
fine.
absolutely. So any kind of things you'd like to kind of call out for in terms of help or things that people can support you? You said you were potentially looking for sponsors to help you in case there's any bigger damage with the boat. any other thing where people can reach out to you, ask you questions, become sponsors, or anything like that?
Yeah, okay. Of course for the sponsoring, but if they want to contact me to discuss about selling on Bitcoin or to give me good advices about lovely places to see and other Bitcoiners or no coiners in the world, like that I could deviate my route to meet these people. So yeah, I need to talk a lot and do some publicity about the project, because more we will be, more it will be easier to meet each other, That's the idea. So if they want to talk about the project, sharing all my contents from my social networks, yeah. And if they want to do a 1 week sailing trip also you could contact me. Yeah,
That sounds amazing. And you have like extra rooms, or how does it work? How big is your ship? Your boat?
it's like, yeah, it's like a mess because we are working for the moment on the boat. So yeah, you can see there is a front room over there.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like two beds in the saloon.
Okay,
You can see, and there is another room in the back. That's mine. And here there's the toilet.
that's fascinating, man.
Yeah.
That's
So it's like we we are four on board for a 1 week sailing trip. So
That's amazing. We will be. I'll be going to a conference in Wales. There's a Bitcoin Beach retreat early July.
okay.
Early July, and it's all obviously on the beach. It's on the beach, but Wales is not too close for you. You have to travel the English, and there's quite a few challenges there, right? You have to probably
Yeah.
get documents. Yeah,
Could you
getting
repeat?
you probably have to get documents to go to England, right? Or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
you need a passport and to just put some information on the border website, like just to declare that you arrive at
Okay.
that time and with people. No, just like an administration thing.
Okay. Bureaucratic thing, yeah. Well, yeah, man, that's so cool. I look forward to meeting you at some point at some conference. It sounds like you've got a really cool project going on, and really excited for it. And really look forward to basically see where see what you're up to next. So yeah, man. But are there things that we wanna mention maybe that we didn't touch on that it's worth mentioning?
I'm not seeing for the moment, but not I'd like. No,
Yeah,
no, thank you.
yeah, man, fantastic. Then it's been an absolute pleasure. So yeah, thanks again, and keep us in touch with what's up with your journey. So a pleasure again, Remy. And yeah, let's do this
Yeah,
soon.
thank you. Thank you very much for your time.